first, it's always great seeing you.
You too.
And I have to say, I am so blessed in being able to follow your journey in music from the first time that we've met and the stuff that you've been putting out, the the way that you use music not just for what people hear but what they do, what they see visually, and which is a combination of what people end up feeling. You really all are about the senses of music and so many other aspects in life. And it's something that I think, especially with the way COVID's been going, we need all those senses like just revved up
Oh
and
yeah.
giving a whole lot of love. And that's what you do with music and everything else. How have you been holding up throughout COVID?
Been good. Last time I saw you was very different. I was 2020, I said I'm gonna put my sad stuff out, and then 2021, we're just gonna live in this new world that I've built. Around this high heels in the mosh pit, feeling good, groovy, Austin Powers vibes. And that's always who I've wanted to be, and I finally get to be that in my music and my life. And my partner always says that I'm living in a child's birthday party, and it is exactly that.
That's why I kind of nicknamed you the psychedelic beauty, because
Oh, I like that.
everything you do, like I said, it's all the senses, but it's in such a beautiful way. Not harsh, but it's just so nice and to live
Thanks.
and to feel and to have all those aspects of it. Has COVID, from when we talked from that last time to
Hmm.
where we are now, what do you think has changed for you because of COVID and the way you look at the world? Because we saw a lot of good, but we also saw a lot of bad
Yeah.
during that time.
I mean, it's been good and bad for everyone, I would say. Since we talked last, I lost a family member from COVID. Yeah, and lots of life changes. But in the good part, it did teach me like how to record from home, be limitless, not really care about what other people are doing or what kind of agenda you need to get famous or whatever people are trying to do. I don't have any agenda anymore. I don't care. I just want to make art and make things feel good, and this is the first time that I've really gotten to do me and feel really good, and the launch was a taste of that. It was like, okay, now I know that I can be bright and colorful and flamboyant and all these things. And then it took me a journey to get to this point and realize like what kind of artist do I want to be, and this kind of groovy vintage vibe has always been my favorite. I love real instrumentation. All of the instruments on this record were recorded to tape like in the 60s and 70s, so yeah, it was really special to get to do this, and we're already working on, right after this I'm starting to work on the next record.
Wait. Where did you guys find tape? I'm
um,
curious about that.
Yeah, so there, okay, so I worked with this producer in LA. I've been working with him for like 5 years. So we did it remote, and then he got his buddies from Philly involved who we went to school with, and they're called Eraser Hood Sound. And what they do and they specialize in is they get all the vintage gear, they get all the vintage tape, and that is their specialty. Where they got it from, I have no idea.
Wow.
I've never even met them. I don't even know. So um, the power of social media here is insane. So they just have all the vintage equipment, and so the producer would track everything, and then they'd retrack everything to tape. It was insane.
I'm just curious. Do you know if it was 24 track or 48 track or even 8 track? Do you know?
I'm not sure, but I will find out and I'll let you know
No,
after.
the only reason why is because when I got into the business myself, I mean radio, but I also for a couple of years worked at a recording house. So I was the assistant engineer who used to have to
Cool.
set up those
Oh,
those tapes and reels and everything, and I had to align them and everything. So I'm just
I'll let you
curious.
know. Yeah, I'll
Yeah,
let you know.
what did the sound for you feel like? Was there a difference from what you record, how you recorded previously to what ended up on? Oh, I love that look on your
Oh
face.
yeah. It's funny, like when we first started this project, so my producer's been wanting me to do this sound forever. We've written together for 5 years, never got anything. We were always trying to do this weird pop thing. Never really, it was very surface. And then he wrote to me during the pandemic. He's like, I've always thought that you would be in the 60s surf rock vibe. Here is this demo you sent me years ago called, I think it was like I'm the Kid or something. And it was this like Mamas and the Papas groove that I sang over. And he was like, I've always thought you were this. Why don't we give it a try? And I'd like to get us working with the Sync label for fun, see how it goes. So I took a shot at it, and it was only halfway through the process that I had this moment. He sent me the song that's not on this record, but it's gonna come. It's called "It Ain't Over." And listening to it, I got chills all over my entire body, and I was like, "This is exactly who I'm meant to be." Like, why didn't I do this sooner? So it's really thanks to him, and all of his time and effort he's put into me, and love that he's put into me to get this stuff going. Without him, I would have been like, what do I do with myself? I'm working with the wrong people. So now it feels right. And I have a songwriting partner who I'm seeing after this, Rick Temporero. He's really cool. He is also an artist and has really cool music. And we have a side project going. So there's like lots of things going on.
Okay, now we're gonna head over to the music because I had the pleasure of hearing what we're gonna talk about. It gave me a feel of punk, grunge, pop, um, sort of psychedelic. But if you were to combine this and release it in the late '80s or in the '80s time, that's where I felt like this was coming through. This was like I was like, wow, this is a really cool feel. I could hear in the clubs, I can hear on the streets, I can hear everywhere. You kind of already talked about it though, but I want to go in. Was that kind of direction you were heading into with this once the process was being developed?
Yeah, we always knew that it would go in that kind of direction. That's where I've always wanted to be without knowing, I guess. That's kind of how my style, like my personal style has been, and how I live my life is very free. And
Yeah.
um, people who know me, maybe I'm a little too free sometimes. But the direction of the album just happened very naturally, which is really cool. There was nothing forced. We rewrote a couple songs like 5 times. Like they're all rewritten so many times. But every time just felt like very easy and like let's just continue doing this. So the whole album is really cool because it's a stream of just no thought. All of it was written without thought.
So let's get to it. What's the new EP called? And how does the EP represent who you are right now?
The new EP is called High Heels in the Moshpit. And I'm free, and I hope it continues to make others feel free. And really, what I want people to take away from it is stop writing for other people's agendas and start living your life true and start just doing what you want, because one day we're all going to be in the ground and nothing's going to matter.
Is there a particular single I would say out? I know this is a collective project, but is there a single right now out?
I think it would be Hustler Baby, but there's no particular single. I just wanted everybody to enjoy the whole project as a whole. And there will be lots of more music to come.
But what is Hustler Baby about?
Being a hustler, baby. Just living your life as free as can be, not taking no from no one, and just being free.
That's a tough thing for people these days. I mean, the way social media is and things like that. How did you get past all of that? You kind of talked about it before, but how did you get past it? I mean, even when you're in the music industry, you've got bigwigs who are saying you have to be this. And even though you might be sitting there going, but I'm not feeling it, you still follow along. What was there ever a particular moment in your life where you went, nah, this ain't happening anymore. Now I am gonna be free.
Dude, the amount of moments I've had like that, I just had one the other day too. You are constantly outgrowing people and constantly realizing your worth and constantly realizing like my connections are good and I am good. and I'm cool, and I don't need to be anybody's like whatever. I don't need to be below anybody anymore because I'm happy with who I am. I'm finally the person I always wanted to be. On the side now, my side thing is that I'm teaching up and coming artists so that they can protect themselves and not make the mistakes I did, but also feel confident in themselves and not need anybody else to tell them who to be. Um, so my whole thing is, I mean, I never, you never really get out of it. Social media sucks. It makes me feel bad. I get depressed from seeing what people post, and it upsets me, which is dumb. I don't know why it does.
Because you
And then
want people to be nice.
and
That's
then some
it.
days I'm on top of the world. When I don't go on my phone, I'm like, oh, life is so good. And I just post my photo, I get off, whatever. But there's this constant like pressure to post and to do better and
Mm-hmm.
to continue, especially on TikTok. It's like post 3 to 5 times a day. And I'm like, my brain is fried. Like I teach all day, I make my music all day, and then I have to do this TikTok game. I'm like, I don't care. But if you're not doing it, then what are you doing, right? So it's tough. It's hard to manage. It's hard to not burn out. But I'm just trying to be a good mentor to all my children now. So I just want everybody to do good, and something I think lacks in Toronto and the community is support. Community support. I really do believe that if everybody started rooting each other on, that everybody could win, because I feel like there's room for everyone. So if everyone just helped each other, I feel like everyone would be a lot further ahead.
I agree with you. I'm just curious the artwork that I've seen celebrating this. Is there a chance that this is going to be part of merch or anything like that or a poster? Because it reminds me so much of that, of like one of those 60 groovy kind of films or something like that.
Hell yeah. I've got t-shirts coming, that some of the artwork is actually artwork on the t-shirt. I've got stickers, I've got necklaces. I've got one on.
Very cool.
Groovy little necklaces. I've got kazoos, because there's a kazoo in Hustler Baby, so I thought it was fitting. I've got lighters. I've got it all. So it's going to be exciting.
I gotta tell you something. That reminds me of course, I'm 10 times older than you. Back in the day when they used to have the candy
Yeah.
necklaces, you got to do the candy ones too, like the real candy ones. You got to
Oh,
do that
those
too.
ones. That's a great idea. Maybe I will. But
Yeah.
merch comes out tonight at 5, so by the time this is out, merch will be up and out, and it's a limited number of things. They're going to sell out for sure. I'm excited.
Okay, so folks, early Christmas gifts. Start the shopping now. So, um, speaking of early, with everything else going on too, what are the chances of you doing any live performances in Toronto or anywhere around the country? Will it be actually physically live? Will it be virtual? What's going on with that?
Yeah, I'm actually doing a show on October 1st with Good Enough Live Karaoke at the Phoenix. I'm not doing my original stuff, but I am going to be singing I Believe in a Thing Called Love and I'm Too Sexy, which are pretty good songs, I must say. And then I'm going to be hopefully doing some cover stuff at Wonderland this haunt season. But as for my own stuff right now, I've got some things cooking that I don't want to tell everyone yet. But there's some things cooking. Probably before the live stuff, there's going to be more music released. I'm just trying to, take things slow. My game is a slow but long game, and I want to do things correctly in my brain. And I want to have the best band ever, and I want everything to just feel like it makes sense and that I could play it at an arena.
The tortoise did defeat the rabbit in that race, so you're doing fine. You're doing well. And we are
Thanks.
loving what you are releasing in every
Okay,
aspect
Rudy.
possible. Thank you so much for doing the interview. I am looking forward to everything else that you're going to be doing. And again, Zoom is great, but let's cross fingers. Hopefully, at some point in time, we can see
Yes,
each other
please.
one
I
on
need you
one.
to. I need you to introduce me at another show. It's
Oh,
been
I
too
would love
long.
that. Way too long. It's been, what, 2.5 years?
Only 2.5? I
I
feel like it's been
think
longer.
it could be creeping up to 3, but because this pandemic's been around for like a year and a half, almost 2 years, I would say yeah, 3 years. It would
I don't
probably be
know.
3 years.
Time is nothing anymore.
You got that right. Whew, is it moving fast? Hey, look, I got to get snow tires on my car soon. Anyways,
Oh no.
great talking to you. Say hello to the guy for me.
Yeah,
You
well,
guys seem like a beautiful couple because you guys are making beautiful music. Love what you're doing. And
yeah,
like I
couldn't
said,
have done it without him. So
I love it. Be safe. Talk
love
soon.
you, Rudy. Thank you.